A message by Rotary and the Sri Lanka National Olympic Committee. The agriculture sector of Sri Lanka consists of 18% Sri Lanka's GDP, which includes livestock and animal feed.
The total number of COVID-19 cases identified within the country rose today.
I'm afraid we are going to be looking more than a couple of waves of this pandemic sweeping through our respective populations.
අපි යම් කිසි විදියකින් මේක අදිෂ්ඨාන සහගතව පාලනය කරගත්තොත් ඒ පාලනයේ සම්පූර්ණ ගෞරවය සමස්ත ජනතාවට ලැබෙනවා. ඒ සඳහා පෙළගැසීම කියන එක තමයි මට කියන්න පුළුවන්.
But we found that there was a gap between what the government officials were saying and how that message was coming in to society.
By working together, clubs in Sri Lanka were able to tackle a nationwide project.
Perhaps it's the only certification in the world at this point of time that addresses a post-pandemic situation.
Stop the spread.
What Rotary did was we conceptualized a model, and this had 3 stages. The first was an attitude change that had to become among people to understand that there was a need for us to change our behavior. The second was, what is this new normal? What is this behavior exactly that we need to follow? And then the third was how we make it more systemic in more organization culture, which we then got Sri Lanka Standards Institution to certify and develop a certification process.
This particular certification was initiated by the Rotary, and SLSI compiled it. So far, over 100 companies have applied. This helps to rebuild the economy. Once you know this is a company certified, people have the confidence to go without any fear.
So what we did from Rotary was that we quickly tied up with the National Olympic Committee and a strategic partnership and got the top athletes of Sri Lanka and all the gold medallions from the South Asian Games and some who had won the Youth Olympic Games, and we used them as the brand ambassadors to do the first task of changing the attitudes of people.
You must simply do your part and trust in what they're doing. I'm ready to do my part for our country. Are you ready to do yours?
In terms of the new normal, we used the MOH, WHO protocol that the government released, and all our clubs started sharing this in their neighborhoods, in pharmacies, in salons, supermarkets, grocery outlets, and including the companies. So that was the second step that we saw in the people of action.
Rotary partnered with the premier private sector chamber in Sri Lanka, Ceylon Chamber of Commerce, together with the Sri Lanka Standards Institution, Ministry of Higher Education.
The next step, I think, is about consolidating all our efforts to ensuring that there is no second wave, because the second wave will, of course, contradict with the ambition of domestic V-shaped recovery and certainly defer even a composite or consolidated U-shaped recovery well into the future. So as a private sector, we should, I think, come together collectively and support the government in ensuring that we do everything possible to prevent that recurrence or a second wave. I think it's fantastic that the certification program has been put in place. I think it's a very forward-thinking move, and I'd like to congratulate Rotary as well as the Sri Lanka Standards Institute in particular for having this foresight. Why we go for certification is to formalize it, to make it part of the DNA of our organizations. And in this respect, I think it's a very appropriate, timely and important move to move into the certification.
As a major upstream manufacturer in the agricultural sector of Sri Lanka, CIC Feeds Group did not take this viral threat lightly.
CIC Feeds Group consists of 3 individual companies, namely CIC Feeds Pvt Limited and CIC Poultry Farms Limited, which grows broilers. The third company is CIC Vet Care Pvt Limited, trading arm of company, which import and market all the leading veterinary products.
CIC was declared an essential service.
We hold about 18% of the total market, and the broiler chicks market 22%, and then broiler chicken 5%. So if I had to close this business, there will be a definitely disasters in the whole industry. In fact, you will find today there is a little bit of scarcity of chicken, but from our side, CIC, I am very proud to say we are 100% in operation. This is livestock. if you can't keep them without feed, so if you don't give it a day, there will be big issues for the farm. There will be huge commercial losses for our own customers.
With a network of supply and distribution partners and outgrow farmer livelihoods, the company had to figure the safety protocols fast.
Because we had to run 24 hours, there's a limitation of doing that.
CIC adopted a progressive mentality of fighting the virus and chose to improve its prevention methods every day.
Lot of issues came time to time. So it was actually a great achievement because I am a person who always takes challenges, and I'm very happy today that we achieved it.
With multiple awards of excellence under its belt, CIC today is declared a COVID-controlled environment by the SLSI certification.
To run this organization uninterrupted. We have been very successful in doing that. As a result of that, only we were able to be the first Sri Lankan company to be certified COVID-controlled environment.
The project received global recognition and was featured at Rotary Global Convention by K.R. Ravindran that reached 51,000 Rotarians across 200 countries.
Radical behavioral change will become necessary to keep our citizens safe as we go about our day-to-day living. With all of these projects, Rotary has shown that we are living up to our promise and reputation as people of action. And the essence of Rotary will always keep us together in spirit, side by side, until we are ready to meet again.
Stop the spread. Presented by Rotary and the Sri Lanka National Olympic Committee.